All right, guys, Austin, Texas, with this beefcake. And this birthday girl, happy birthday, Daraja. 26 wonderful years. So I'll give you a little taste of Austin. It's a little too windy to be filming right now, but it's a really cool city. Try to get as much as I can. Sorry for the wind. More to come. All right, guys, here we go. Back at it again, but we're at a special show this time in Austin, Texas. This is called the NPC and IFBB Republic of Texas, and it had a pro bikini and pro men's physique show attached to it. So traveling out to Austin, Texas, and had a couple competitors come with us. That is Erin Gales on the hip thrust right there, and then Brittany Lee, who was lived about 2 hours away, so she came over to hang out, another pro physique competitor, not competing on this day. And this is Daraja, 1 day out workout. So, you know, I think I've talked about this ad nauseum, but I like to train the day before the show. I put my competitors in there. The food is going up, the cardio is coming down. So I just like to keep a little bit of training. This is Liana Gonzalez, who competed in the Masters. I believe she did 50 and 45 plus bikini. Same thing, you know, she lives in the area, so we got her to come out and work out. This was Gold's Gym. And yeah, the whole point, you know, a little bit of camaraderie, but the real purpose of this workout is, you know, I can gauge condition. I can see, you know, how they've been filling out throughout the week, and then decide if we need to add food, if we need to subtract food, whatever we need to do, final adjustments. This really gets me the chance to see in person, because sometimes pictures, videos, it doesn't really tell the whole story. There's nothing like the naked eye, and this is Daraja, and it was her birthday this day, so I was giving her a hard time. You know, we have not been on stage since the Olympia. So we were aiming for a show called The Battle of the Bodies, which I'm getting ready to drive to right now. So this video will probably come out after, I'm going to probably set it to come out Friday or Saturday. But so we initially were not going to do this show for Daraja's pro season, first show of the year. Here's Erin Gales, and I thought Erin was looking fantastic. Food was going up. You know, we're getting ready to qualify her for nationals. That's why she was here. So the first show of the season was going to be Janet Liu's Battle of the Bodies. And then this show popped up on the radar. It's a new show. It was in Texas. We had the right judges. We need to get in front of Sandy and Tyler. They're both here for this show. Erin is being silly during the NPC posing seminar. I think Erin Stern was helping out with the posing there. So, yeah, we're just goofing around. And, yeah, this was a little fun the day before the show. And so, yeah, we decided, me and Daraja, we were looking ready early. We got
46, Daraja.
Got some feedback from the judges that she was ready to get on stage. You know, I spoke to Sandy a few weeks before the show and said, what do you think? And her and Tyler both agreed. Make some minor adjustments, but go ahead and get on stage. And here we are at the fantastic. So first of all, I got to give credit to Galvanized Productions, to Bernadette. Not having been to many shows in Texas, I did the Spectrum show last year. Just a fantastic show. They had the pro interviews, the pro introductions, huge place for a show as well. Like the auditorium was just massive. Good. And then just do your transitions. Yeah, because honestly, like this look might be what they prefer, but I don't want to be waking up flat.
Right. Yeah. Even if it's a little bit less. Let me see how that looks. It's a little bit straighter.
So so with my knee straight, am I not now like pushing out a little?
No, yeah, definitely push out, but just straight to out a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I see.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Your feet look good.
Remember, bring your shoulders towards us a little more, your back. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so good, because remember, the judges are way below you.
Yeah.
All right, so now transition back to the front. Let's just see the front again. Yeah, your glutes are actually striating. You're in really good condition. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so those first two videos you saw of Erin and Daraja coaching Erin, that was the day before the show. This is the morning of the show. The nice thing about this show, the way they ran it, was all the men went in the morning. So from 8 until like 1 p.m., the men went. Then pro bikini started, then amateur bikini. So the way they ran it was very nice, because Daraja was the last to go on stage and then the first to go on stage at finals. So it was really nice because she didn't have to be up early and up late. So they really let the pros be treated like pros. And I really appreciate that. When not for nothing, but when the pros are treated a little bit differently. And as you can see here, hair, makeup, suit, tan, all coming together. This is freaking Pro Bikini, right? Like, this is a pro champion in the making. Daraja is always in the mix, and I just wanted you to see some of the size of some of these pro men's physique guys that were going right before Daraja. So I was backstage with her. This is Erin Stern, who lives in Tampa, a good friend of mine, and there's Jazzy. Always just so excited to see her backstage. And there's Corey, who just turned pro, winning the Junior USA's overall. So again, it's like you get to know these girls. It's like a family back here. They're all just such cool people. All the pros really support each other. And so here we go with Pro Bikini, the first class of the day for me to coach. I only had 3 competitors at this show, but there were freaking 3 awesome competitors. One of them was Pro Bikini, and that is Daraja Hill, all the way to the left side of the screen. Sorry I didn't get better footage, but, I was trying to be in the moment, running back and forth. I didn't have a good seat because I was backstage so much. So come out, and then you're just looking to compare. Daraja always stands out. I mean, if you take into consideration just her stage presence, her hair, makeup, the way she just carries herself on stage, she always stands out. So try to get a little bit of a routine here for you just so you could see how she owns it. This is something that she puts a lot of time and effort into. She does not just kind of willy-nilly throw this together. Every single step, every hand motion is very calculated. She puts a lot of effort into this. Her posing has changed this year, which I did a post on my Instagram about. Brought down her back a little bit, brought up her glutes, brought down her shoulders. Physique is much more in balance this year. If you look at the balance from the shoulders to the glutes, the tiny waist, just all the angles, you see that angle she hits there, it's 45 degrees. This is such a choreographed routine, and it looks so effortless because she put so much effort into it. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into her stage routine. Not overly done. You just want to get out there for the stage routine and show the judges your best. So now that they've done the groups and the individuals, now they're doing call outs. And I was very excited because, the goal here is to get into first call outs. And immediately when they did first call outs, they moved Daraja to the middle. They did a few turns, and then they actually moved Erin Stern to the middle. So the big guy you saw me hanging out with, that's my buddy Evan. And we were just talking wouldn't it be cool if Erin and Daraja were splitting center? And so it happened. Erin is a former Miss Figure Olympia, and she has literally transformed her physique, brought it down to the bikini standard. And the other exciting thing for me here was this was Erin's first time ever being in first callouts. I've seen her at many of her shows over the last year. So, now I'm just nervous, oh man, could Erin beat Daraja? Right? My goal right here is to be in the middle. And if you look at all these girls, obviously they're amazing. So you've got Carla Garthwaite just left of Daraja. I mean, she's a perennial top 5 competitor. You've got Liana Gonzalez to the right of Erin Stern. And now they move in Cristobal, who is another girl who's constantly in the top 4 or 5. So now you're looking at, Daraja and Erin as 1 or 2, Carla and Cristobal as 3 or 4, and then Jazzy in the 5 or 6 position. So, you're kind of basing it on the history of judging, going to a lot of shows. That's where they typically end up. And so now they're really comparing them. They're having them walk. They're looking for flaws. They're looking for fullness. The big thing as a coach here is, there's nothing, everything's out of my control at this point. So I'm trying to just enjoy the moment. It's quite the honor to have a competitor into first callouts at a pro bikini show. That's something that took me, years and years to get to. So now I'm just enjoying it. Seeing Daraja up there, trying not to have coach's goggles, but, just a proud coach. And by the way, it was the day after her birthday. So how cool is that she's getting on stage the day after her birthday. First call outs ended, and she was still in the top 4. And so they did one final call out. And they'll often do this at the pro bikini shows. They'll do the first call outs, and then the last call out after they do the 4 or 5 call outs, they'll do one final call out of the top 4 or 6 or something like this. And it just gives you insight. Okay, so now we know, based on the history of the way they've judged these shows, this is the top 4. So all we're looking for here is to stay in that center position. They're just checking the girls out one more time, and this is why, you have to be up on stage, peaked and ready to go, because you don't want to get judged live again like they are, and they're going to get judged live again when they come back for finals. They do the confirmation round of scoring. So it's, the whole day matters. So they're doing one final walk. I think this is where they end it. So we end up pretty confident that Erin and Daraja are in the 1 or 2 position, with the winner getting Olympia qualified. It's a big deal.
One, ready.
So there she was with Jazzy, just taking pictures with some friends. And so after the pros went, then we had the amateurs. I only had 2 amateurs competing. So this was Erin, who you saw posing in the room with Daraja. She was getting ready. You know, we're making a nationals run. Our goal is to be ready for USA's, which was 2 weeks after this. So yeah, she's in fantastic condition. Shape is, you know, a 10 out of 10. You know, stage presence is a 10. Like, she's a fantastic competitor. And then this was her call out. This was, I believe she was in class D. So, you know, some fantastic competitors. And what I'm looking for here is the same thing that I saw with Daraja. We just want to get moved to the middle. So there's, let's see how many are in the call out. Looks like they're going to move the young lady in the blue into split center. So, okay. And then I think what ends up happening is they swap another girl with the center. I don't remember at this point. They do. They move Erin in. She probably didn't know her number. Shame on you, Erin. Always know your numbers, guys. Anyway, now we're in the middle. Okay, so now we're splitting center, and that's really what we want to do, is just make sure we hold that down. You know, because they have the same exact judges here as they did for the pro show. So Sandy and Tyler are still there. Those will also be the judges, you guessed it, for the USA Championships in 2 weeks. So again, as a coach, my strategy is around getting feedback from my athletes, getting them in front of the right judges, and just making sure we're, you know, putting everybody in a position to be successful. And it's always rewarding when you bring someone to a show of this caliber. Texas brought some serious fire. Huge show. I don't know how many competitors. I would guess in the 400s for a local show, right? It is a national qualifier. And this is where I got a little bit of confidence, because now they start moving people in and around Erin, and Erin never moved. So I thought, okay, there's a really good chance that she's won her class. You know, but you never know until finals. These girls all look amazing. But as a coach, the real goal here is to make sure, and I think this is what convinced me. If you look at Erin's glute fullness and her shoulder and her taper, I thought she had the best package in her class, and I think D was the largest class, so very exciting for me. And it just gave me a lot of confidence going into finals. We made sure she ate and filled out a little bit more to be in the overall battle. So here you go. More and more girls being moved, and Erin's just holding it down. And that's exactly what you want to see as a coach. So congrats to Erin for an awesome prejudging. I don't think I got footage of Liana, but Liana was doing the same thing in her master's class, her 50 and 45 class. She was in the middle of both of those classes as well. So for only having 3 competitors, it was a really good day. They were, you know, all the competitors I had were in the center of their call outs. So going into finals, you know, I was very happy. You know, all these girls work very hard, as do everybody on stage. But, you know, it's good as a coach to see, like, okay, what we brought is exactly what they're looking for. And, yeah, we're just going to get ready for finals, enjoy a little bit of time in between, and make some tweaks and come back and see who can get nationally qualified or Olympic qualified. They're not doing routines. Men's only top 10. They're just like waving, so it's going to go fast. So one thing I try to do when I can at the shows, when I'm backstage, is basically just keep my athletes up to date, because it can be very confusing when you're backstage as to how long you have. They'll tell you it'll be 10 minutes, it'll be an hour. They'll tell you it'll be an hour, and it'll be 10 minutes, right? So my job is I can run around and kind of get a feel for who's on stage, how long we have. And I realized that the Pro Men's Physique class was actually, they weren't doing the routines, only the top 10, which meant 35 guys weren't doing the routines, which means that's, you know, about 35 minutes of time saved. So Daraja got on stage much sooner. You can see this is her routine at the night show. I had a better seat. I had got there early and saved a much better seat so you guys could get a little bit better footage. But, you know, Galvanized Productions also had a live stream for this, so there's probably some good, you know, footage of this elsewhere if you're really interested. But, I mean, the lighting, the stage, they just did a fantastic job with the production of this show. I will always be a fan and go be supporting Bernadette and the rest of her shows. I mean, look how cool it is. It says on the stage, Pro Bikini. So, you know, sometimes you're watching a show and you're like, what's on stage? So this was a good thing to see. So at the end of the top 10 call-outs, the confirmation round of scoring, they brought out 5 through 10, and then they brought out the top 4. So, yeah, this was it. Or sorry, they brought out 6 through 10. No, yeah, I guess it would have been 5 through 10. Top 4 here. So the top 4 were kind of lined up with Carla in the middle, and they put Daraja back in the middle. That was just a good indicator to me. Okay, I think we're locked in for top 2 between her and Erin. then it's just the nerves kick in and you're just waiting for the confirmation to see who's going to the Olympia.
Finishing in second, Erin Stern.
And literally, I don't know, a lot of work. You know, this was early in July, and we hadn't been on stage since December, and, you know, the judges had given us a lot of things to improve. And, you know, Daraja did not win a show last year. 2020, she got third, and she got second, and, you know, she got 14th at the Olympia and 11th at the Arnold. So to get back again to first place, where she had been in 2019, where she won 2 pro shows, you know, it's just a good feeling. You know, these athletes are incredible. These bikini competitors are incredible. And so, you know, to be backstage and get to be there in this moment, that was Bernadette in the white who runs the show. I think Daraja won like an iPod watch or an Apple watch and like $3,000. And just, you know, this was a plus class show. Like, it was just amazing. The production, you know, I can't say enough. I will definitely be going back to these shows, the galvanized productions, and literally, like, Daraja couldn't even carry all the stuff she had. We had to make multiple trips. So I think she's signing her check here, and then we're going to go celebrate with some of her friends. But yeah, you know, as a coach, this is about the highest honor. You know, the next highest honor would be to win like the Olympia, and, you know, that's what we're working towards. But at this point in my career, this is just such an honor. And my goal is to get more girls here, if that's their goal, and continue to just provide, you know, an opportunity for everybody to reach their goals like Daraja has, and keep moving forward. And then obviously with Daraja, and there's Jazzy, probably, I don't know, maybe one of her best friends in the sport, if not her best friend. But, you know, this was, for us, I don't want to say a warm-up show because we were ready, but we weren't necessarily expecting to come out and win the first show of the season. So we're still going to do 2 more shows before the Olympia, at least. We're getting ready right now for the NPC Battle of the Bodies, the IFBB Pro Show. That is pro bikini only. We'll be down in Fort Lauderdale. I'll make this video come out Friday so that you guys, if you hear this, you can come. It's in Coral Springs. And I actually have 5 or 6 bikini pros. I believe 6 bikini pros competing at that show. So Daraja's got her work cut out for her again. Then we'll be going to Tampa. And in Tampa, I think we're going to be competing against a former Miss Bikini Olympia winner, and Isa Pescini, and potentially the girl that got second at the Olympia last year, Jennifer Dory. I believe she's confirmed. So we're really going to find out where Daraja stands in this sport, you know. That's the great thing, you know. Every week's another opportunity to prove yourself. So this was Erin. So Erin did indeed win her class, and this is the overall. So they treat the overall just like they treat the pros. You know, they line them up. And so if you see right here, we have Erin splitting middle. And so I'm like, great, Erin's in the middle. And then they brought the girl from Class A right next to Erin. So I thought, wow, we might be in the mix here. And, you know, based on what I was seeing, fullness, shape, I actually thought the girl in red would win the overall. But then when they brought the girl in A next to Erin, I was like, let's see what's happening here. And Erin really peaked well for finals. Look at her shoulders. I thought she had the best balance top to bottom, but ended up Erin won her class, but she did not win the overall. The young lady in the red, who did look fantastic, won the overall. All these ladies look amazing. So Liana got a first place in bikini 50. Erin first place in bikini open D. Daraja, you know, pro freaking champion, going back to the Olympia the day after her birthday. Just an absolute fantastic way to end this trip. So on to the next. See you soon, guys.